Hi guys, so I thought I'd jump on here and do a really quick video, similar to ones that I've actually put out on my social channels like TikTok and Instagram. So if you're not already following me there, a little bit of a plug, jump onto my social channels. I'll link them below to sort of talk you through the different clair senses, what they are, what they mean, how we might be experiencing them in our day-to-day lives already. And this may be just because you're curious to know what the clair senses are, or it could be that you're looking to develop yourself either through your psychic abilities or your mediumship abilities. So let's get into it. So today I'm going to start for the most obvious one, which is the ability of clairvoyance. So what is clairvoyance? It is the ability to see without our physical sight. And how does that look? No pun intended. How does that look? How can we look out for it? How might we already be using the ability of clairvoyance in our day-to-day life? Well, look at it this way. A lot of us dream, but we're not doing that with our physical eye. We're doing it more than likely with our third eye vision. And that is simply exactly what the ability of clairvoyance is. But how can it express itself in our day-to-day life that we may not already recognize? Well, one way it certainly does is we've all been there when we're kind of having a mundane moment in the day, maybe at work, and we're just sat there daydreaming, just pondering on thinking, oh, do you know what? I'd really love to be on the beach right now, imagining the sun beaming down on your face, imagining a hot man or a hot woman walking across the sort of way in front of you. That is the ability of clairvoyance, of clear vision. Okay. Or we may do it as well if we're reading a book and we are able to sort of really immerse ourselves into the storyline and picture sort of the characters around us and the scenery. That equally is the ability of clairvoyance, clear seeing. Okay, because we're not using our physical eyes to do it. We're using that part of our imagination, the right hand side of our brain, that creative aspect of being. Okay, and that is how we can sort of work with it within our psychic abilities. We can use our own imagination to connect to a psychic aspect of someone that we might be reading. So, for example, you may be sort of talking to a friend, and all of a sudden you'll just get a vision of them with a child, and you'll just feel and know, and from that vision, that at some point they'll go on to have that child, and then years later it plays out. And that is the ability of clairvoyance, clear seeing, when it comes to a psychic perception of being. But it equally happens within mediumship abilities when we're also connecting to that of loved ones. And how does it work in that manner? Well, for example, if I'm reading for someone and I'm connecting with one of their loved ones, they may use my visual perception to bring through different symbols. Symbols are a way that spirit can communicate because they're quite universal. We'll go into that in another video though. So they may bring a symbol through my vision. Now for me, I've got something called a template, which is something that spirit will use consistently as a notification for me to be aware of different things. So one of my main templates that is often brought through for me is a symbol of a daffodil. Okay. Now, to me, this means a couple of different things. One of the things that it can mean is springtime and the months of March and April. And often they will use that to show that into my sort of third eye vision. They'll put a little symbol of a daffodil, and I'll say to the person that I'm reading for, does it mean this? And often it absolutely relates to the person that I'm connecting with and their passed over loved one. And so that is how they will use my visual perception when I'm connecting for mediumship, but they'll also do it in other different ways. They can use that visual perception of my ability to see through clairvoyance when they're trying to impress in my mind what they might have looked like, memories that they may have shared with the person that I'm reading for. And so that is the ability of clairvoyance. And you may notice that you're already seeing and picking up on that actually happening in your day-to-day life already. So just have a think, have you experienced the ability of clairvoyance? And if it is something that you are certainly wanting to sort of look into developing with your psychic abilities and within your mediumship abilities, well, the best way that I would say to sort of enhance your ability of clairvoyance is to sit in a meditative sort of state of being. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit and sort of go into that space of breathing and completely clearing your mind. What we're wanting to do in this sort of exercise is to actually imprint imagery into our mind. So we want to sort of go into that space of being in a meditative sort of state of silence and then bringing in sort of visual aspects into our mind space. So we might like to say, I'm going to start visualizing a tree. And then we're going to start sort of building what that tree looks like. And then we're going to start bringing in other aspects, maybe bringing in an animal into sort of that space. What animal is it that you're seeing in your third eye vision? Or, is there a lake in the vision in sort of behind the tree? Are there any people walking around? And it's sort of building it from that sort of aspect. So guided meditations are really, really beneficial when we're looking to develop the ability of clear vision and clear seeing. To have a look into those. And if this is something that resonates with you and you've already been experiencing it or would like to develop more, then let me know in the comments, subscribe and like, and I'll see you again next time for the next Clairsense. Cheers, guys. Bye.